Wrestling was 100% of my life for so long, right? Then COVID happens. You either deliver or you go back down. I need to learn how to be a singles wrestler. We actually wanted to sign you as a coach. Always give the promoter what they want. That's how you keep a job.
Yeah. Whoops. Now that your 30 days is up, let's talk about everything that went right and everything that went wrong with Andre Chase University.
Sure.
I'm very grateful to have you here. I don't get to see you as often as I'd like because you're a hermit.
I like to be home.
Yeah. I do too. And I just think, and I see this in a few of my friends too, where the older we get, I feel like they're like, oh, I got to take care of the ones I care about.
Yeah.
Like I do want to see these people, as opposed to like, I don't know, it's very easy to, especially as in wrestling, it's very easy to just go down your road, live your life, and forget about everything else around you. Whereas like, you know, when you realize that that's not everything in life, and you go, no, when I die, I'd rather have people say good things about me at my funeral.
Right.
I'm going to do something with you that I haven't done with anyone else.
Okay.
I'm just going to throw out some random questions.
Is this like rapid fire, or do you want me to go in depth? Or
It's like a medium fire.
Okay, medium fire.
I'm not rapid. I haven't been rapid since COVID. Okay. Showering in the morning or evening?
I think it's situational.
Okay.
I think it's situational. I prefer a morning shower, but I often work out in the evenings.
Yes.
I don't want to go to bed sweaty.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, so situational.
Okay. See, I used to like wake up and shower.
So what is this about again? Because this was not I wasn't expecting this to be the first question. So what kind of podcast, video, what is this exactly?
It's just for fun.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, just to get us warmed up.
If that's question one, I'm excited for question two.
Question two, why don't people reply as often as they should?
Oh, usually because they're just a bad person.
Really?
Yeah.
Would you consider yourself a bad person? Or would you say you've gotten better?
I have gotten better. So there's about 3 people that I reply to quickly. One of them I live with. The other 2 are my family. And I do the best I can. It's not an excuse. I'm not making excuses for my actions.
I understand.
But I am working to improve.
I think Thea and myself would both say that you've done better.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that.
Definitely.
But like while we were in Chase U, I was like, why the f*** won't you respond?
Well, man, I just don't like, and everybody says you're always on your phone. Why don't you reply? That's not the case. I actually don't like being on my phone. Especially, and this kind of goes back to your point earlier. I was so, like, wrestling was 100% of my life for so long, right? Then COVID happens and wrestling is immediately removed from my life. And I go, oh no, I have made my whole identity as a person being a professional wrestler.
Who am I?
What do I do now?
Yeah.
Right, because wrestling was just one day, like, you're done. So that time, and I know COVID was very hard and very difficult for a lot of people. In that time, it taught me a very valuable lesson, and that was how to live my life without pro wrestling and not have my identity be, I'm a pro wrestler. I wasn't on the road. I wasn't thinking about business. It just forced me to take a step back, and then luckily coming right out of, being the first tryout post-COVID and then getting signed by WWE, I was able to come into WWE much better off than I would have had I been signed pre-COVID.
Sure.
Because I knew, like, oh, I know how to, like, disassociate now. Like, wrestling is my job. It's not who I am. Like, it's just my occupation.
Yeah, and I won't name names, but there are some friends of mine who have been in the system since 18.
Right.
And that's who they are. Yeah. And I don't know if they will figure out who they really are until they get away from it after it and go, oh, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
It took COVID for that to happen to me before I go, okay, let me separate these two. Yeah. And I became a much better wrestler for it. I became a much better performer for it. And I became a much better person that responded to text messages.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Okay, last one. Favorite TV intros or theme songs? Because I started thinking about this and I was like, oh my God, I've got such a long list.
Man.
So I'm going to start because I've done this weird thing recently where not only am I listening to songs, but I'm listening to theme show intros as well.
Yeah.
And one is the Drew Carey
show
because I love Cleveland Rocks.
Yep.
Because then you could say like Lost, even though that's like just a 15-second sound clip, or like Seinfeld had like the boom, 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 but it wasn't like the show didn't start the way that Malcolm in the Middle did.
Oh yeah, Malcolm, that's a good one. Malcolm in the Middle.
Malcolm's very good. Fresh Prince.
Yep.
Scrubs.
I think Fresh Prince is probably number one. Ooh, yeah, I think it's probably number one. Like it's
up there.
Yeah, it's just iconic, and it's almost like a mini version of the. That's the cool thing. And obviously, with pro wrestling too. If you've never seen Fresh Prince before, you get the backstory in the first 45 seconds, and you go. He just tells you the whole story and why he's in Bel Air.
Straight into the shine.
Great, and it's like, oh, I get this. Now I'm going to stick around.
Yep.
As far as just catchy and like the first instincts, one was the X-Files. That's burned in that theme song is just burned into my memory.
Terrified me.
Terrifying, yes, but it's burned in, and like still to this day, if I watch that, I get that feeling of like being a kid. I'm like, oh, this is crazy. So X-Files for me would probably be, and the George Lopez show.
Oh, George Lopez, okay.
Which is also very catchy and it's great. Yeah.
Did you ever watch The Man Show?
I'm not too familiar. I know what it is, but I'm not familiar with the intro.
That had a very catchy intro. Simpsons is there.
Of course.
There was another one I was thinking of.
Oh, Pokemon.
Of course.
Yeah, that's got to be up there.
Yeah,
as far as...
even though I wasn't as big of a Digimon fan, that intro stuck with me as well.
Right.
And then, I don't want to show my age too much, but there's also like worst intros where, as a kid, if I heard MASH or Green Acres or Coronation Street, I was
Coronation
like,
Street's pretty bad. Yeah.
hate my life.
That was the nightly news. My dad used to always watch the nightly news. And like, before that would be something fun, like, I don't know, Third Rock from, like something. And then like, I would be in like getting dinner and then I would hear that and I'd be like, oh, he's watching the news for the next hour or two. Like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And the 60 Minutes, do you know?
Yep. Catchy.
Makes my skin crawl. Hate it.
All right. Pro wrestling.
Yeah. That was a good like buffer for like, okay, now we can get into what the people came to see.
Yeah. I'll tell them to skip ahead to this, to the 10-minute mark. Without boring everyone, what is your wrestling history? Because you've been doing it as long as I have.
My origin story?
Yeah, what's your origin story? You've got a bigger one than I because you've traveled more and more people like you.
I'm not offended, but I will say, why did you say without boring people? Is my story boring to you?
No, and I'm sure it won't be boring, but I also don't like. I think people can see this as an opportunity to be like, and then in 2020 I wrestled at the Estonian Hall, and people go, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
It's Ryan Katz's promo class. And you wrap it up in a nice, real quick little story and make me feel.
I miss Ryan Katz, by the way. Okay, so started in 2007, my senior year of high school. Went to just a local independent wrestling show, and maybe 20 minutes from my house. Every independent wrestling show that's in December has some form of like seasons beatings, or it was one of those. Went to the show and like with the sole purpose of like, I need to find somebody to train me how to wrestle. So my brother and I we were huge fans of Ring of Honor.
Your brother's older than you, right?
Correct. Yeah. 3.5 years older than me. So he was already like in community college. He was about to finish up community college and he was just kind of like, well, I don't really want to like go to university yet. I really want to wrestle. So we had kind of looked at going to the Ring of Honor school because we were such fans. Like we were on the message boards, we were getting the DVDs every month. And Brian Danielson was the trainer at that time. So we had reached out, we had emailed like, hey, when's the next schedule? When's the next class? And they weren't blowing us off, but they were like, hey, Brian might not be sticking around. And if that happens, we need to find a new trainer. So we can't really give you any definitive. So we were like, well, we can just wait for this information to come, or we can just try to do what we can do on our own. So we found a local independent show called AIWF. Went there, waited around till after the show was over, pretty much just helped them clean, like just tried to be involved. Because we were like, well, if we help them, maybe they'll help us. So we helped load the ring. First time we've ever done that, helped clean up. And just kind of asking like, hey, is the promoter around? Is there somebody who trains? Is there a trainer here? Everybody was just kind of like, it wasn't their, like, that wasn't their thing. They didn't have a training school. They didn't train people. But I think we just kind of helped and asked enough people that they were like, okay, we got a show in 3 weeks. Just come before the show, help set up the ring or whatever. They probably didn't think we were going to show up. And we show up before the show and they're like, oh, you guys are here. Okay. And we set the ring up and they were like, okay, this is how you bump and this is how you run the ropes. And we were just like, oh, this is awesome. Expecting to pay them for their, like, because, Ring of Honor school charged money. So we figured, like, so we get done, we're like, oh, how much do we owe you? And they're like, oh, you don't owe us anything. Just come back next time. Okay, cool. So the cool thing about AIWF was they ran a lot of shows. Like, they weren't the biggest indie or anything like that, but they had 3 or 4 shows a month, which to a young wrestler, you can get a lot of experience that way if you're wrestling 3 or 4 times a month. So we started training in January. We debuted in March after just showing up and going through training. All the while still waiting to, like, get some response from the Ring of Honor school. Like, who's the next trainer and when's the next class start? So all through 2007, we do that. Danielson does leave. He moves back to Washington. They're toying with different people, trying to find who the new trainer is going to be at Ring of Honor, and ends up being Delirious. He does his first class, I think, early 2008, and then we finally get in touch with them. They're like, hey, we have room in the October 2008 class. So we wrestled for about a year and a half, just local Carolina indies, just trying to get as much experience as we could before knowing we were moving to the Ring of Honor school. October 2008, we make the move. It's a very significant weekend for myself and my brother, but also for Ring of Honor. So we are driving, like, we haven't even seen our apartment yet. We're driving to Philadelphia to move in, to uproot our lives. Again, we're on the message board, right? Breaking news, Gabe Sapolsky has been fired from Ring of Honor as head booker. And we're like, oh, man, like, because Gabe was definitely a part of that thing that made Ring of Honor what it was at that time. So we were like, oh, this is, like, we just uprooted our lives, and now the head booker's gone, and we don't know obviously they had a plan in place, but, like, as somebody who's moving 9 hours away now and uprooted their lives, you're like, oh, was this the right decision? I don't know. So they actually make Adam Pearce. They announced Adam Pearce as the new booker the following week. So I never worked for Gabe until way later.
Okay.
So, but it was just like, it was interesting when it was kind of a full circle thing when I did start working for Gabe and Evolve and then Dragon Gate USA later, many years later. But then, Ring of Honor school, Delirious was the head trainer. You just kind of train, even though we had experience, we had a lot of bad habits. So we get to training, you're going to say something? Had a lot of bad, but like the people who trained us initially really taught us everything they knew. Like, It wasn't from lack of, like, care or lack of, like, they prepared us the best that they could. But we obviously, we wanted to be in Ring of Honor. So
yeah, that was my first school. I went to a school, and eventually they were just running the ropes for cardio.
Yeah.
I go, I need more. They're like, well, this is all we know.
This is kind of what we got.
Then I have to leave.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I care about this.
Yeah, and that's okay too. Like, I am greatly appreciative for what they showed me, because they did give me a foundation to, like, okay, this is what I like, and I know I don't really like this, but I know I can go get this somewhere else.
Yeah. Did you go Japan next or UK next?
Oh, first went to Japan. So we go through the school. We start getting dark matches maybe like 6 months later. So, like, we didn't do any shows from the time we enrolled in the school. So, like, it was like the last weekend of October 2008. And then we didn't start getting on shows till, like, April.
Okay.
For the pre-shows.
Yeah.
But it was cool because, like, the people who were doing pre-shows at this time, it was also like Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Tommaso Ciampa, Tony Nese, Gino Giovanni, Mike Bennett, Michael Elgin, Matt Taven.
The last 15 years of the indies.
And like the guys who kind of became what Ring of Honor,
But they were on their way up.
Yeah. So, like, not only did we get to work with people like that in their infancy as well, but, like, we're all learning together. We also had guys like Bryan Danielson and the Briscoes and Roddy and Aries and, like, all these guys watching our matches and, like, telling us, hey, do this. Hey, don't do that. Hey, like, you guys are here, keep it here. Like, they were able to police the locker room in a way that, like, hey, we're going to protect our shows and you guys are on the pre-show, so here's what we expect from you. And then, you guys, if you can do that, you're going to get more.
Yeah.
And that was, like, a great way to learn, because then I can teach people later on, like, hey, on the pre-show, we just want to be great basics, great fundamentals, and then if you show us you can do that, earn our trust, you're going to get more. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened with us. So we do that. Then we start going up the ranks, getting on the main shows, getting on the pay-per-views at that time, Go Fight Live. If you remember those.
The Bravados wrestled everyone, right?
Yeah, it was great. I mean, we got to wrestle Claudio and Hero, got to wrestle the Briscoes multiple times. We got to, like, and that was our goal. Like, I remember watching the match with the Briscoes, and just being blown away. And I remember telling my brother, like, if we can wrestle them, that means that like we're in that upper echelon. Like I'm not saying we'll ever be as good as the Briscoes, but like if we can just be in that mix, that means that we're good wrestlers.
Yeah.
I know that means that we're good wrestlers because
look at that's important.
Yeah, look at the matches they have. Like look at the quality that they have. So that was just kind of our goal. Like let's get to the Ring of Honor and try to wrestle the Briscoes, and luckily it happened a lot.
It's different in the Fed, but yeah, on the Indies, if the booker is willing to put you in the position with those people,
Yeah.
solely expecting good matches,
Yeah.
good quality wrestling for the fans, if you're in that position, you're in a good position.
Of course. And that's the thing, being given the opportunity. But then also Ring of Honor was very sink or swim at that time. It was like you either deliver or you go back down. It was never like you can just ride the middle. It was like you're either going to deliver and you're going to go here, you don't deliver, you're going down. And that was kind of a great way to learn too, like trial by fire.
Sink or swim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love that pressure. I did. I still thrive on that today.
Did you go to Japan with your brother or no? Because I know that you were in the Noah dojo with my boys.
Yeah.
But I don't know much more than that.
So, Ring of Honor and Noah had the working relationship around that time. They were sending guys back and forth. Eddie Edwards had went to Noah as like just a young boy, but then obviously Eddie Edwards blew up, right, and became Ring of Honor World Champion. And so to back up a little bit, their relationship had always kind of been there. We wrestled Chris Hero and Claudio, Kings of Wrestling. They were the Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions.
Loved them.
Yeah, great. Hero was also doing Noah stuff. And I don't remember what happened, but we had put this is going to show my age. To get bookings, we used to make DVDs and send them to promoters. Like we had a package. I remember it had 8x10s and it had 3 recent matches and a couple of promos, like a burnt DVD.
Yep, you send it in the mail.
And we had to send it in the mail, guys. If that
Don't look at the camera because you're wearing glasses and there's a reflection.
So
when did you start wearing glasses?
Well, the Meta glasses are really good because I've gotten messages while we've been doing this interview, and they just read the messages to you, and I don't have to interrupt my train of thought. I can and if this is important, I can say, hey, can we cut? Or if it's not important, which they haven't been, I can just get the messages.
Okay.
Multitask. Anyways, so we had one of these packages that we were sending out to promoters. Hero was going to Japan, and we said, hey, by chance, can you just give them this and, just hand deliver it? Like, you don't have to make sure they watch it or anything. Just if you could just drop it off. He's like, yeah, sure. And Hero's always been somebody who's been very honest with me in his feedback and is like, he doesn't really sugarcoat things. And he also is like, if he can help, he will. He's always just been, to me, just looked out for, and my brother just looked out for us tremendously. So he gave them our DVD, and they called us, luckily, and they emailed us and said, hey, can you come do 3 months in the dojo? We were like, yeah, and that was January 2012.
Okay, yeah.
I also think it was Bronson's first time in the dojo. I think it was.
It would have been.
Yeah.
Because me and Bronson were a team for... He was my bravado brother. And eventually... I'm sick of I was working at a casino as a poker dealer. Yep. I was sick of it. Mum's going, when are you moving out? All right, I hadn't thought about it, but I guess I'll move out. Yeah. I was like, that's it, I'm out of here. And I moved to Perth to see my friend Muffins. Mm-hmm. You know my friend Muffins?
I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Never met him. I would love to meet him one day.
I leave home and I tell Bronson, because we are a tag team, and he's like, what about me? And I go, I don't know, do what you want. But because we had been kicked out of a company, not my doing this time, I would later become the problem. Right. But Bronson caused this issue, so we were banned from the main good wrestling company. And so I was like, yeah, that's another reason to leave and go explore and do something else. So I went to America, Bronson went to Japan. You tell me who it worked out better. It worked out better for Bronson, but
well, listen, that tour he wrestled Kenta 1-on-1, and I was like,
when he got knocked out and lost the teeth.
Yeah, but still super cool.
Yeah. So how many tours in Noah?
Well, it was 2 different stays, but they count the tours as 1 month, right? So I guess technically 6 overall, but 2 3-month stays.
Okay.
And then we were supposed to go back for 2000, and it was a year apart. So we did 2012 January to April-ish. Went back to Ring of Honor from April till December. Uh-huh. And that was a really good run for us. So from April 2012 to December 2012, we went from they did an all tag team show. It just happened to work out that was our first show back, so that was super cool. all the way to Final Battle, which was like a tag team gauntlet.
Yeah, right.
So that was cool. It was like a really good like bookend, and then we already knew we were going back in January 2013.
Okay.
So like our best Ring of Honor run was probably that, like the April 2012 to December 2012. We go back to Japan, January 13 through April again, and we got it. Where we were going to come back WrestleMania weekend, which was Supercard of Honor 2013. But Gabe had reached out to us, so our contract had ended December 2012, and we didn't re-sign before we went back to Japan. But the plan was we were going to go back to Ring of Honor. Then we kind of got in touch with Gabe. Things had just kind of worked out. He was like, hey, when you get back, do you want to come work for me? And we were like, yeah, sweet. And we just kind of, again, we had always wanted to work for Gabe because that was one of the reasons we went to the Ring of Honor school. It just happened to where he got fired the weekend that we started. And then we were just like, yeah, let's go. Let's try something new. And they had also just announced the Dragon Gate partnership. So they were doing Dragon Gate USA as well as Evolve. So being able to wrestle some of those like new Japanese talent, we thought that was pretty cool. And we just thought it was like a new opportunity because we had been in Ring of Honor now at that point for 5 years. And we just kind of wanted something new. So if we would have re-signed, like before we left, obviously it would have been Ring of Honor. But since we didn't re-sign, it kind of left our options open to.
Highlight of your tag run with your brother?
Man, highlight. I mean, probably being the Dragon Gate USA Tag Team Champions was cool. We had a good feud with the Young Bucks. That was like I think from like 2014 to 2016 was probably our best work that we did as a team. Now, obviously, like, you know, you get more experience, you get better, you wrestle better people, so it should kind of go that way.
Yeah.
should go that way.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, we had great matches with like Gargano and Chuck Taylor and the Young Bucks and some Japanese guys, and like it kind of snowballed into what we would become. And it was so funny, like those. That's when we started going to England as well. So we were. I don't think people understand the schedule at that time that we had in England. We were wrestling like 10 shows a week, because you would do doubles.
What do they call those?
The camp shows.
Yeah.
So, but also you also do town shows in between. So like where they call them like indie shows. So like you could do the schedule then, which was crazy because it was like for 8 or 9 weeks straight. And you could do up to 10 shows a week. Well, actually, you could do up to 12 shows a week if you were doing town shows as well. But you would do 2 on Tuesday, 2 on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday. You would travel on Friday. Like if you were going to like the north or the south or like wherever you would go to the next kind of camp run, then you would do a double on Saturday, double on Sunday. So
okay.
When you have that many matches and you're just wrestling that often, I've never been, like my cardio had never been better. My instincts had never been better. So like,
how long are these matches normally?
Oh, so there's only, on the camp shows, there's only 2 matches a show.
Oh.
So you have to do 20 minutes.
Okay.
Because they expect an hour show.
And is it primarily technical and...
No.
No?
So on the camp shows, they just want action, excitement. It's kind of like, it prepared me well for Shawn Michaels NXT, right?
Shawn Michaels Championship Wrestling?
Yeah, because Brian Dixon, the promoter, he wants action.
Yeah.
Because he was like, it's only an hour show and it's only 2 matches. We can't have any downtime. So, you know, but then I'm 10 years younger. it's different.
It's easier.
It's different doing those matches at 25, 26, 27 than 35, 36, 37.
Javon won't be Javon at 35. He can't be. Okay, yeah, because I was going to try and compare that to when I first got to the PC and the schedule that we had, where I was like, oh boy, maybe it was different where, you know, I'm in the ring 5 days a week with coconuts every Thursday, Friday, Saturday against these 300-pound jacked athletes.
Yeah.
Where they can't go to the floor. They have to just hit moves.
Right.
But I was like, okay, if it's 2 matches and they're expecting action, yeah, it's probably not that much different. And when you're in your 20s, it's different.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I wanted to be doing, right? Now, I would say, like, that was a taxing schedule, looking back on it. So I didn't realize at the moment, but so we did that every summer from 2013 until 2019, until the pandemic.
Okay.
So we did that, but then from 2000, well, I'll get there, I'm sure, but like, it's also different doing those tags versus 2016, 17, 18, 19, where I was doing them singles.
Brother's gone.
Okay. So like, it became, okay, I know this is taxing even as a tag team to be wrestling 80 matches in 8 weeks, roughly. You know what I mean? Plus, again, there were some times where we do indie shows. So our off day on Friday was an indie show. So it's a taxing, grueling schedule.
Good money?
Yeah, well, for the sheer amount of...
You're earning it.
Yes, yeah, you're working for it. Like, yeah, it's great. And like everything's taken care of. Like you don't have any, like your lodging's taken care of.
Yeah.
He would usually buy us a meal each day. Like, they took good care of us.
Up until that point in your career, what's the biggest lesson you learned?
Always give the promoter what they want. That's how you keep a job.
Yeah. Whoops.
And but that served me well in WWE. Like,
Yeah, you did.
So the thing is, again, it's like a builder or a painter, right? If I go, hey, you're the painter, please paint this wall black. Mm-hmm. And you go, I think it would look better red. And I go, no, I'm paying you. I just want you to paint it black. You're not going to have a job very long if you just do it the way you want to do it.
Yeah.
Now, are there ways diplomatically to go, hey, maybe this shade of black would be better?
There are still people that can paint that black better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like, again, you're a professional. So at some point, I'm going to trust your professional opinion. Like, hey, that shade of black, it doesn't match. Let's go with this shade of black. And I go, yeah, let's do that. Let's compromise and do that. So like, one thing I learned later on, but the first thing was give the promoter what they want. They're paying you. If you want to keep a job, do what the boss wants. The second thing is try not to lose yourself going all the way that way.
Okay.
Learn how to play ball, learn how to be diplomatic, but don't lose yourself. Like don't compromise who you are as a wrestler, as a performer, just to give them what they want. There's a happy medium.
Yeah. I certainly respect you a lot for how well you play ball. Ridge and I were talking about it where we're like, we're not good at playing the game. And playing the game could be different.
Yeah.
But being able to... There are a lot of situations that pop up that need a specific mindset or a specific, like, okay, I know how to handle this, I'm going to handle it this way. And then there are some people who just go, no, and that's not the right way to do it.
That's not the right way to do it.
And hindsight's a wonderful thing, but it's also, you have to wanna. Let's skip ahead.
So real quick, I would like, what is the biggest lesson you learned pre-WWE and then post-WWE?
I think it's important to understand how to do everything, to be a jack of all trades.
Agreed.
And then be able to be a master if you are asked to be.
Yeah.
Because in wrestling, you can be pigeonholed or be asked like, hey, we just want you to do this. Well, then you either do it or you don't.
Right.
And I think maybe more than other people, I've always been very big on protecting myself.
Do you mean physically or do you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's very important, again, because wrestling is insane and I would much rather play it that little bit safer and come out okay than trusting the wrong person and they go, sorry, dude, like I'm so sorry. And you go, oh, it's cool, I got a broken neck now. That's a part of your story and you've apologized. I guess I'm okay with that because you apologized. No, I'd rather play it safer and then still have my life and my health and yada yada, just for the sake, like, I'm not leaving, I don't trust people.
Right.
I don't trust people and I'm not willing to take every risk possible where people, because again, and you know wrestlers, trust me, bro, I got you.
Yeah.
You might think you've got me and then you apologize later and it's too late. I'd rather, I avoid those situations. And not just on the big bumps where I've always been very big on, which everyone should take their own bump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm with you.
You always got to do this, the 60%, the 70%. You can't, like, wrestling should be 50-50. It's a dance.
That's Terry's thing.
And you have to do more.
Right.
You always have to do more, expecting the other person to be crap or mess up because it always happens.
Right.
So I would always want my future to be in my hands. So I'd always like overcompensate and make sure that I'm doing as much for me as I can, both when it comes to like planning and then executing, but even then with strikes where like I was very big on just covering up and then like doing the big sell.
Right.
And then it again depends on who the boss is. Hey man, you got to lay it in. I don't have to. People could just sell, like it's okay. But again...
But that's the 50-50 thing too, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think, again, calling matches with you and being part of the process...
Sorry.
I definitely think I'm more trusting. I operate under like, until I have a reason not to trust you, I'm trusting you.
Yeah.
As to where you kind of go, nope, you got to earn my trust.
That's true. And while
I don't think either one's right or wrong. Like,
no, there's pros and cons to both.
Yeah.
And you saying yours, which I'm sure you could do the same for me, but when you say that, like, I'm going to trust you until you give me a reason not to trust you, I had a match come to mind immediately, and I'm sure you know which one it was, and we don't have to name names.
no, that's okay.
But there are situations.
But then you learn, right? And then I go, okay, well, I'm not going to make that mistake again.
Yeah.
So, but also, it's pro wrestling. It's dangerous. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen Onita jumps off the apron, his knee explodes. He has this crazy match. He's been slammed in barbed wire, exploding bombs, thumbtacks. He's okay. He just jumps off the apron, boom, knee explodes. So like wrestling, even getting in and out of the ring, the smallest, stupidest of things, you can get hurt.
I did a lot of seminars when I was back in Australia recently, and that's one of the things that I'm very big on is limit your risk.
Yeah.
Save the risk for the high risk stuff, but limit it elsewhere. And an easy example of that is our good old friend Buddy, who has been on the shelf, for like a year and a half, just jumping over the ropes. Yeah, landing on the ankle wrong.
How many times has he done that? You know what I mean? A million, that one time.
And I go, just don't do it.
Right.
You're the biggest person. You're 300 pounds wide, right? I'm taller. But you're a jacked specimen who is so athletic and fast and snappy, and you don't need, just step through the ropes, dude.
Yeah.
That's my solution.
You're very risk adverse as to where
do it in the ring.
Yeah.
Do it in the ring during the action as opposed to and then limit the risk elsewhere, because again, now 12 to 16 months on the shelf, probably in what he would say is his prime.
Right.
Gone.
That's one thing I've always been cautious of too, is not losing time to, especially my money making years and my income potential. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was Terry said, you can't get hurt. You can't get hurt in my class. And we're in our years now where the 30s, that's where you make your money. That was always the thing. The 20s, you learn the job. The 30s, you make your money. So
we're running out of time, Chase.
Oh, I talk a lot.
No, I mean our 30s.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you but see, I disagree.
We're not.
Yeah,
I understand we're
yeah.
not. But I'm just, that's the...
And especially because your mind gets better. Even if your mind gets better.
Learn how to work.
And that's right.
Yeah.
That's what's important.
Let's skip ahead to getting signed.
Okay.
What does that look like before you? Because I met you, funny enough, at Evolve.
Right.
We worked together.
Right. I was gonna circle back to that too. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, because I started in 2019. 6 to 8 months in, my friends are doing better than me. I'm not getting opportunities, and I go, what's going on? They send me to Evolve, and I go, okay, I have to make the most of this opportunity. What was this is a bit off topic. I wasn't going to ask this, but what was the locker room's opinion or perspective on the NXT guys coming in and like me, for example?
No, we loved it because the houses were huge. I don't know if you remember. Rhea came and did a signing one time.
I was wrestling JD Drake in the opener.
Yeah.
And I look over, the line is still out the door for Rhea. And I'm like, are you...
So we love... What are you talking about? We've loved it.
Okay. Well, okay, let me rephrase. What was it like working with the NXT talent?
It was awesome. So me and Theory wrestled the Street Profits one show.
They're easy.
It was all... And
Except Montez's frog splashes.
I don't think I took it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think I took it.
I did a house show once. It was me and Bronson against the Street Profits.
Right.
And we did it where Montez hits his frog splash. Oh my God. It killed me.
Yeah.
He pins, and the idea is, as he's pinning, he's looking up, and then Bronson's coming with his splash.
Right.
So Montez moves, I take Bronson's splash, and I was like, they were exactly the same.
Right.
They were both just as stiff as each other, and that was the worst idea I've ever had.
Well, Montez gets...
It's so high.
To the ceiling, yeah.
Yeah. What was that like for you?
So it was awesome. And also, that was always kind of the thing, was at that time, Evolve was feeding guys to WWE. So that was also why I came back to start working for Gabe at that time, because I moved to England.
Okay.
So my brother stopped wrestling 2016 because he just wants to be a family man, all that, I get it. So 2016, I have been strictly tag team wrestler for almost 10 years now, and I go, I need to learn how to be a singles wrestler because I'd had like 4 singles matches in 10 years, 3 of them in Japan.
Okay.
And I'm just going, oh no. Like the day he told me, it was like I was unhappy because I was going to lose my travel partner. I'm like, like we lived together, we trained together, we went to shows together. Like, and now just a big part of that life is gone. So now I go, oh man, I have to like go to the airport on my own now, and I have to, navigate all this, which is okay. It had to happen at some point. But I was just like, oh man, now I also have to learn how to do singles matches because I have 0 experience as a singles wrestler. And that was scary 10 years in. So it's like, okay, any equity that I had built had been, I have no value as a singles wrestler.
Right.
All my value was as a tag team. So I was like, this is kind of like starting again. Mm-hmm. And luckily, the promoter from England, Brian Dixon, he was like, no, like, I think you would do well here as a singles wrestler. So I moved to England for 2 years full time.
Okay.
So from the summer of 2016 until essentially the pandemic, like 2019, I was going back and forth. So I was strictly in England from 2016 to 2018. And then I would come back for 3 months and then go back for 3 months until the pandemic.
So when I saw you at Evolve those few times...
I was back and forth.
Really?
Yeah. So
okay.
I was going back and forth.
So then what did the signing look like for you? Because COVID happened around... I think I was meant to wrestle Josh Briggs for the title like WrestleMania weekend.
Yes. So 2019, correct? Or 2000... Was that 20?
That was 2020.
Okay. So 2019, I moved back finally. So like the middle of 2019, I'm back full time. So I do the summer the summer camps in 2019, and then I move back.
So you're full time Evolve.
Yes.
Until
I'm planning to go back again for the summer of 2020. So full time Evolve. Me and Gabe talk. I never signed a deal. Like Gabe was always cool with me. Like I never signed a contract, but he was like, "If you're here, I'm going to use you." Cool. So I let him know. I was like, "Hey, I'm finally moving back full time to America. Can you use me?" He's like, "Yeah, come on. Like I'll use you on every show." Okay, cool. We get told that we're going to be working together, me, you, and Anthony Green.
Yeah.
If you remember, this was going to be the in crowd. Was going to be the thing.
Yeah.
And I thought that's cool because I know they watch these matches in Skull. I know that like somebody will see this, and if we make a good run of this, like maybe we could do this on TV. Maybe I can be in a group with Duke Hudson or I guess you weren't Duke Hudson at that point.
That was my real name.
Yeah.
Brendan Vink.
Yeah.
And everyone on Twitter was like, "Who's Brendan Vink? What a crap name that is. It's my name." Yeah. What are you, like, they hadn't given me a name yet. What do you want?
So me and Anthony were like, cool, like this could be a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like, again, you also got to remember that time, you had like Walter coming and do these shows. You had like Hero. You had like a lot of big guys coming and doing these shows. Gargano, Tommaso, Ricochet. Yeah, the houses were huge. So just to get back to your original question, we loved it, and we all thought like, okay, like if we do well here, somebody's going to see this.
I can only tell you that I was watching those Evolve matches with Terry, and you can imagine what he thought. Yeah.
But Terry wasn't the person we had to please at that point.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
and Terry was still Terry at that point.
Right.
He's a little calmer and nicer. God bless him.
Yeah.
God bless Terry Taylor.
So that happens, and then I don't know if you remember this, but we were told that Access 2020 was going to be like a Worlds Collide kind of thing. And the thing that I was told specifically was it was going to be a triple threat tournament. So it'd be like an NXT guy, an Evolve guy, and then like whoever else they were working with at that time. I can't remember, maybe a UK guy.
Okay.
And that's what it was going to be. And like, so it was going to be like a weekend long tournament of triple threat matches. Like you get to see one NXT person, one Evolve person. And so we were all like, this is sick, like great. Because, Evolve had their shows as well, was going to have their shows this weekend. And I remember Gabe just kept telling us like, obviously he wasn't telling you guys, or maybe he was, but y'all were already signed. So it didn't matter as much to y'all, but he was like, listen, like this is the thing. Like Hunter's watching these shows. Hunter's like, gets the reports, Hunter, all this. And like, if you do well, you're going to have opportunity. So I'm preparing for this triple threat tournament, and like we've got these big houses involved now. All you guys are coming. It's helping. Walter's main eventing. It's great. Then COVID happens. Yeah. Everything shuts down. There's no communication because nobody knows. Like nobody knows what's going on. So like
it was day by day.
Yeah. So March was like that last Evolve show in March. That was my last show until post pandemic. But so then I'm just waiting, and again I'm just like, I don't know when this is gonna be over, so I need to learn how to not be a pro wrestler in my life. like in my personal life. Like, again, my identity was so much like I'm on the road, I'm being a wrestler, that's all I've ever wanted to do. It just became my identity, and I didn't want it to be that anymore because it forced me that I wasn't going to have wrestling anymore. Like, there was a school like 2 hours away that was opening up every once in a while if you wanted to go roll around, but it just wasn't the same. You know what I mean? It wasn't. So Gabe calls me in like July, and he goes, hey, just need to let you know, we've sold Evolve to WWE, or like they have taken whatever the deal was. You weren't in a contract with us, so they are going to absorb some of the contracts in the deal as well, but you're not one of them because you weren't under a deal. I go, okay, cool, keep me updated. He was like, but like stay ready. And at that time, it was so far removed. I was like, yeah, okay, cool. And I was still working out and staying ready, but I wasn't really expecting anything. Then that was July, and in like September, Gabe texted me out of the blue, and he's like, have you been staying ready? And I was like, yeah. And then 5 minutes later, I get a call from Canyon. And he's like, hey, how you been? How are you well? Have you been in shape? Have you been working? Like, what's going on? And I was like, well, obviously North Carolina was like shut down. I was like, nah, I just been chilling, but like, you know, just like everybody else, I got to work from home kind of set up, and as best I can, I'm staying ready. He was like, do you want to come in for a tryout? And it was the first tryout in COVID. Essentially, he was like, you're an interesting case because we actually wanted to sign you as a coach, but come to the tryout anyway, and then we'll kind of talk and discuss what we have for you. He's like, but like, we just really think you'd be a great coach. And again, at this time, I'm 31. I'm like, well, I'm not ready to really stop wrestling yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like at that time, there was no player. They made it very clear it's one or the other. Like there was no player coaches. And in my tryout, he was like, listen, we're calling 10 guys. It's a small tryout. He was like, everybody's getting signed. You just got to come do it. Like he told us that before we.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
just don't screw up and you're good.
Yeah.
Yep.
This tryout was cursed. So he told us everybody at this tryout, he was like, y'all are the group that we are going to sign. You just got like, you know, got to come to the tryout. Everything's cool. Man, like we have to do the tryouts with our masks on.
Oh.
So we're doing these blow-up drills, which, I mean, these tryouts are tough.
Yeah.
They're definitely tough.
They're meant to be tough, yeah.
But now you have to do it with your mask on the entire time. And wrestle a match with a mask on, which was just a weird thing, you know what I mean? So...
Because when they did open back up, and I was in Terry's class, we were on the apron, mask on.
Right.
You get in, you lock up, you're like, mask off. And then it's okay once you're back on the apron. Okay, what are we doing?
No, so for us, it was mask on. From the time you come into the building, you know, you do your test, and then until you leave, keep your mask on. Huh. So, again, that was September. Canyon calls. He goes, hey, we want you. You're either going to be a coach or a wrestler, but come do the tryout as a wrestler, and then we'll talk. Tryout goes really well for me. Like, they do it as a TV show. They shoot. So our tryout, and to my knowledge, because I helped with the tryouts,
yep.
They've never done one like this since. Now again, because it was only 10 people, so maybe that was the reason. But like they did it like an episode of what NXT would be.
Sure.
So there were 3 matches. You did full entrances, you did promos, and then you did your match.
Ring 5?
No, in the arena.
In the arena.
So it was cool. It was a cool experience. But again, out of the 10 that they said, hey, y'all are definitely getting hired, only 3 of us ended up getting hired. So me, Anthony Henry, and Blake Christian.
Okay.
Like it just, for a litany of different reasons, they were like, all you guys are getting signed, and then it just worked out to where it was only 3 of us. So I get the call in September. We do the tryout in October. I get the call back in November. And it's Kenny, and he's like, hey, listen, like, we really wanted you as a coach, but like we really enjoyed your tryout too. What do you want to do? And then he gave me the numbers. And the coach was obviously a much higher salary than what the starting for a wrestler was. And so I'm like, oh man, like, do I just take the money and like kind of call it a day in my career? Because again, they made it clear you can't do both.
And this is at a time, 2020, it was still, Hunter's still around.
Yeah.
And you're still allowed to be old.
Yeah.
To wrestle
but
there.
At the time, I'm only 31, I think.
Yeah, which isn't old, but as you know, like in the years to come, like that became ancient.
Yeah.
So like it was I think it's a smart idea to have taken the wrestler role because anything could have happened.
It was not an easy decision, I'll tell you that. But like, yeah, eventually, so I think about it, and I'm talking to my brother, he's like, well, do you want to be a coach? Do you want to be a wrestler? And I'm like, I want to be a wrestler. And he was like, well, that's it. And it was just that easy of it. It's like, oh yeah, of course. Like the money was appealing and attractive, but I was like, I came here to be a wrestler, so I'm going to wrestle. And then I called him and told him, and even he was a bit surprised, like, well, you know the pay difference, right? And I was like, yeah. I was like, but it's going to be fun. Like, it's going to work out. I just believe, I knew. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I just knew, like, I just got to get in, and then, you know, we'll get to where we want to go.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get into Andre Chase University.
Okay.